Hey, what's up, guys? So quite a few of y'all responded to the question last night that I put up about recovery, and you guys liked it, and I appreciate it. I decided to just go ahead and record this rather than trying to do an Instagram live. And so here's a breakdown of how this works. So, what I posted out there was a picture of me putting somebody in balance. I was using, NeuroTarget work. And so I wrote that recovery is outdated and that timing and velocity are key. So admittedly, the title gets you just a little bit. And quite frankly, a lot of recovery methods are. So there's nothing wrong with contrast baths and showers and all that stuff. That's fine. But a lot of people are still just icing after something. And so that's going to slow recovery. Okay. We've got the anti-ice guy actually coming on the podcast here in a couple months. But the point of this was to say, look, there are actually other ways that you can recover if you truly understand what recovery is. So all the other stuff that you've heard over the years, whether that's red light, hot, cold, saunas, whatever, it's all cool. All right. So I'm not hating on any of that. What I'm trying to say is that recovery is also dictated by muscle and its actual properties, like physiological properties, and how it responds to the training or movement. And that's very important, okay? So think of it this way. Muscle fatigue is really nothing more than a muscle that's shortened, all right? And so I wrote an article about this a while back. I think it's on our website, but you have to understand that muscles work together. And so one of the worst things that we can do as a coach is to train our athletes. Let's just say we're doing a bicep curl, okay? Is to come up and then slowly lower down. That's usually what you're taught. Now, if you're bodybuilding or something, then okay, fine, all right? Or, you could even make the argument if you're a young athlete or general fitness, okay, that's fine. I'm not trying to argue that. What I'm telling you is that that's not how the muscle works, all right? The bicep is responsible for the elbow flexion, but the elbow flexion can only occur as fast as the tricep can relax. I can only contract as fast as this can relax, and vice versa. And so think about how that operates in the movement. As I contract, okay? Now, if I slowly lower, what muscle is responsible for extending? Well, it's definitely not the bicep, so it's got to be the tricep. So the tricep is responsible for extending it. Now, if I'm slowly lowering, what's happening? The tricep is shutting off, it's not doing what it's supposed to do, and now I'm training the bicep the wrong way. It's not allowing the bicep to get back to its fully lengthened state. Now, if I start here and I violently contract the tricep, this will automatically lengthen. Okay, that process of a muscle working around a joint the way it's supposed to work, the oscillation of it, allows for the muscle to actually lengthen. And this is where the whole conversation of stretching comes in and what it does or doesn't do. And that's for a different video. The point of this is to say, understanding that muscle fatigue is nothing more than a muscle that has shortened as much as it can shorten. So theoretically, if you actually train the muscles to do what they do and work around a joint the way they're supposed to, they will lengthen out. That's one, okay? The other sides of, actually, let me go back to that real quick. And we know that a lengthened muscle is actually a recovered muscle, okay? We know that. We want a muscle to be lengthened. This is why we don't like to contract things a lot, like a tinge unit or something like that, because a fatigued muscle is a contracted muscle. A recovered muscle is a lengthened muscle. So these types of ISOs or whatever cause it to relax, all right? And we know that a relaxed muscle can absorb even up to 10 times the amount of force. So that's huge. The other side of it is, all right, a lengthened muscle can also be impacted by something like the newbie, okay? The newbie, the ARP, you can lengthen the muscle back out, okay? The current, the velocity of the current allows the muscle to lengthen. That's huge. The lengthened muscle is a recovered muscle. The other side of it is using something like the NeuroTarget, where we're actually able to check the muscle's timing, and if there's a delay, we can alter that signaling process by putting the nervous system back into this parasympathetic state, triggering the weak part of the nervous system, and allowing it to fully lengthen and relax, which again subsequently means it's able to recover, and we can increase the timing capacity, how fast that thing turns on. And that's how velocity and timing influence recovery. So appreciate you asking the question. Hope that helps you. There's quite a few episodes about things like this on our on the podcast, the Starting Block podcast. So appreciate y'all. Have a great day.